Coming up on DITV, we'll show you how the university celebrated a scientific legacy.
And later, we highlight a Hawkeye who is breaking into show business.
Do a lot of plays. I also sing and dance. I perform in drag.
We take a look into senior day for men's and women's basketball this weekend inside Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Also inside Carver Hawkeye Arena this weekend was men's gymnastics, host to the number 5 Cornhuskers.
Rain, snow, and sunshine. Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming right up.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Bo Bowman.
And I'm Becca Scadden. 4 University of Iowa engineering students want to change the lives of breast cancer survivors. Lymphedema is a painful potential side effect of breast cancer surgery and radiation. These UI students are creating a special mastectomy bra prototype. The garment applies pressure to the breast and underarm area to prevent swelling. The women will continue to test fabrics and conduct research as they further develop their prototype.
Friday saw the Black Student Union hold its 4th annual talent show. This show, which is described as the organization's biggest event of the year, was also the latest celebration of Black History Month, with hosts quizzing audience members and trivia regarding culture, history. The organization's president, Erica Allen, praised the event, stating, quote, "It's really just a time to celebrate and be together and have people showcase their talents. That's not something that happens a lot, especially in this big space of 20,000 students," end quote. For more information on this event, check out the front page of the Daily Iowan, where reporter Ellie Woods has more.
A workers' rights rally is scheduled to take over the Pentecrest today. The We Will Rise rally will advocate for union benefits for public sector workers and non-tenured track faculty. Rallies are being held across the country today due to the Supreme Court hearing of Janus v. AFS-CME. The case deals with whether workers should have to pay compulsory dues to public unions. Tune in tomorrow as we bring you more coverage on that rally.
The Iowa City Darwin Day organization has been part of the community since 2007. Their goal is to advance scientific knowledge, and their big event was this past weekend. DITV reporter Kaylin Cluck went to the Museum of Natural History to learn more.
It was a bird-filled, thought-provoking weekend as the Iowa City community gathered to celebrate Darwin Day. Charles Darwin was the biologist who first theorized evolution in the 1800s, and today, the Darwin Day organization honors his scientific legacy every February by hosting one big educational birthday party.
It's been 209 years since Charles Darwin was born, but for the scientific community of Iowa City, there's still plenty to celebrate.
Over the course of the 2-day event on campus, renowned scientists gave public presentations on their latest research. Topics range from how to avert a climate change disaster to discussions on why people might deny evolution.
A lot of the things that were talked about in the talks this morning are things that haven't necessarily been published yet. So these are people who are actively doing research in some really exciting fields, and this is a chance for us to see those things kind of as they're coming off the presses.
And of course, there was an actual birthday party for Darwin, held in the Hall of Birds at the Museum of Natural History. It was complete with cake and many, many feathered friends.
It's a lot of fun to see people come back with shirts from the previous year. On top of getting to hear from awesome scientists, I like to see that people around here really enjoy this and want to come back.
Reporting from the Museum of Natural History, this is Kaylin Cluck, DITV News.
Well, it's the last week of February, and I'm hoping that means we might get to finally see some spring temperatures.
Yeah, hopefully it warms up. Let's toss it over to Junyuk Kim in the weather studio to find out more.
That's right, guys. Unfortunately, there will be a roller coaster of the weather this week, but not so extremely. Let's start with this afternoon. We're looking at sunny skies with temps reaching around 50 degrees. And at night, temps will fall to high 30s and skies will be clear. Now let's take a look at our extended forecast. Temps will rise quite high with mostly sunny skies tomorrow, as temps will get to high 50s and low 30s. Temps on Wednesday will be staying around just like Tuesday. The only difference is that rain will shower at night on Wednesday. The temps will freeze a little bit on Thursday, as we will see snow in the morning. Wind will also blow pretty strong too. Friday slightly up with mostly sunny skies as temps will range from high 20s to low 40s. Sunny skies will still remain on Saturday. You will feel a little bit warmer than Friday. We have less than a week for February. Unfortunately, this weather condition will continue until early March. That's your weather for this week. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Junhyuk. Chicago rapper Cupcake released her newest music video early last week, and one UI student was able to get in on some of the fun. DITV's Alexis Tansey has the story.
Junior Sydney Speltz was born a performer.
As soon as I could stand up on a stage, I was on one.
When she saw the casting call for Cupcake's newest music video, she decided to go for it.
As an actor, when I see things like that might work in my schedule or this or that, I always think just go for it.
The music video included lots of singing and dancing, but that's not all.
A lot of times it's just like a party. You know, it's just like, have fun on camera. Okay, see what happens.
Speltz is a theater major here at the University of Iowa, but really, she does it all.
I do a lot of plays. I also sing and dance. I perform in drag.
Sydney Speltz got her start in drag as Lil Ronnie right here at Studio 13.
I call it Femme King. So I put men's nail contour on, but I really like to blur the gender line. I wear big wing eyeliner. I'll wear lipstick. I put pink in my hair.
Speltz uses her drag identity, Lil Ronnie, as a way to express herself.
And I want to express, who I am as a person, which is somebody who's masculine and feminine. I want to present that in drag because to me that is drag.
Speltz was not expecting to get cast in Cupcake's music video, but she had a good time working with someone whom she admires so much.
She's a huge advocate for the LGBT community. She's been a real proponent of taking care of the less privileged and poor people. She's made a huge example of herself through donations and that sort of thing. A lot of her music is actually really eye-opening for me because I haven't experienced a lot of those things. But at the same time, she's very inclusive.
Check out Speltz's appearance in Cupcake's music video, Fullest, on YouTube now. Reporting from Iowa City, Alexis Tansey, DITV News.
All semester long, we've just been cruel to the Hawkeye basketball team. It seems like week in, week out, it's always a loss. But this week, finally something to celebrate.
Absolutely. Great game for them last night and a really special night for Jordan Bohannon as well. Let's toss it over to Taylor and Alec in the sports studio with more on that. Guys?
Thanks, guys. Like you said, it wasn't the greatest season in terms of record for Iowa basketball, but there was definitely something special about last night's win.
Yeah, in 5 years, we're going to forget about the season entirely, but I think this last game was one to hold on to for a while.
I definitely agree. So Iowa basketball closed out their regular season in a picture-perfect way last night. The Hawks clinched a win against the Northwestern Wildcats and got the victory inside their home court. There was a lot to celebrate about the game and a lot to celebrate about one particular player, and that's Jordan Bohannon.
Jordan Bohannon and Isaiah Moss were on fire against Northwestern's defense. Moss was consistent with three-pointers and tallied 12 points on the game, including this play, which started a pattern of many threes to follow.
Bohannon and Moss were a powerful duo on the offense, as Bohannon attempts the three, and Moss is there to help him recover and make sure the ball goes into that basket. Bohannon not only was heating up in the first half, hitting 6 threes, he was also tied with the late Chris Street's consecutive free throw record at 34.
Bohannon had then made the decision to intentionally miss his potential 35th straight free throw to share the record with Chris Street, saying, "It wasn't my record to have."
I think under the circumstances, Mike, because of whose record it was. I mean, to me, that if it's anybody else's record, yeah, okay, we can talk about it. But the circumstances under which, a family member of ours is taken from us, we remember that. And he's an Iowa kid. You have another Iowa kid, ties the record, and I didn't know he was going to do it. Like I said, he points to the sky and missed it. It says a lot about him. He needs to be aggressive like that for us to be who we can be. So, same thing with Isaiah. I tell him the same thing all the time. And I thought he was terrific at the beginning of the game. And I thought even in the second half, he was driving the ball.
The Hawks look to use the confidence coming off this victory as they head into the postseason Big Ten tournament, where they will face off against Illinois.
On Saturday, the women's basketball team hosted Indiana in their final regular season home game of the year.
In the first period, Iowa got off to a 20-5 start with this pass from Kathleen Doyle to Hannah Stewart, who hits the around-the-rim jumper.
Later in the first half, Doyle passes it to Sanders, who hits Gustafson down low. Megan gets her own rebound, the bucket, and the and one. Iowa into half up 42-24.
In the second half, Gustafson passes it to senior Carly Moans, who gives it right back to Megan, driving past two defenders for the shot attempt. She gets her own rebound and capitalizes with 36 points and 15 rebounds on the night, and helped Iowa cruise past the Hoosiers 75-62.
We knew this game was going to be tough. Indiana coming in 8-0, we're 6-0, something had to give. But for us to be able to come out and do this without Lexi today, who does have influenza, we hope to have her back for the Big Ten tournament, though. And for us to be able to adjust on the fly with that, I'm really proud of our team. 4 people in double figures, 21 assists, 11 turnovers, all good numbers for us. But most importantly, that we send out Chase and Carly on a positive note and enter into the Big Ten tournament on a positive note.
Tune in this week for a special Women's Big Ten Tournament preview show, hosted by our very own Lucy Rodine and Mary-Kate Harrion.
The men's gymnastics team was back in Carver this weekend, where they faced the number 5 team in the nation, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. On the first rotation of the night, Dylan Ellsworth finished second on the floor with a 14-point score.
On the pommel horse, Austin Hodges took home Iowa's first event title of the night with a 14.2.
Jake Brutazon took the home rings event title with a score of 13.9.
And on the vault, Ellsworth tied for first with a 14.85. Ellsworth took home his second event title of the night with a 13.75 on the parallel bars.
And on the final rotation of the night, Andrew Odor finished the first record with a 13.7 on the event titles, but only 5 for the Hawkeyes. Not enough, as they fell in this one to Nebraska, 402.8 to 398.5.
We did some uncharacteristic falls, and then those things sort of stayed with us. Pommel horse, obviously, we got guys that are really good in the event. They cannot have those falls that way. And then everything else, like we're still counting a number of falls on events. We have to be better at our strengths and not have the misses. And floor is one of our weaker events. We actually did fairly well there today. And it was split. Like some guys were awesome. Ellsworth was amazing today. And then he didn't get the backup from the teammates that he needed. But that is sport.
The team's really young. A lot of guys are still learning. So the fact that we didn't capitalize isn't that big of a surprise. But the fact that it's this late in the season is kind of still a bummer. But besides that, I think we did some great gymnastics, and we proved that teams that are ranked above us don't necessarily need to be ranked above us.
The team will be back in Carver this Saturday when they host Penn State and Arizona State.
As the regular seasons are ending for winter sports, spring sports are just starting.
The Iowa baseball team was led to victory on Sunday by Cole McDonald. He pitched a solid 7 innings, then was relieved by Kyle Schimpf that closed out the last 2. The Hawkeyes won 8-2 over New Orleans at the All-State Sugar Bowl Baseball Classic finale.
That's a mouthful. And that's all we have for you today in the sports studio. Make sure to tune in for tomorrow for our pregame show on Iowa baseball and their home opener at Dwayne Banks Field.
And tune in Wednesday for our pregame show for women's basketball as they enter the Big Ten tournament. Guys, back to you.
Well, everyone, that's a wrap on this Monday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now.
From all of us here at DITV, I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning. Same time, same place.